All right. So are you ready to kind of wade into some maybe a little bit sensitive territory
Sure.
today? We're talking about modern dating and relationships.
Ooh.
We got this Reddit thread, and it is a doozy, and I know you've looked it over, so
Oh yeah, this one's a wild ride.
yeah. And honestly, it's got like a little bit of everything. It's
Mm-hmm.
got frustration, it's got
Yeah.
confusion, it's got anger, even some dark humor.
Yeah, there's some cynicism in there.
Yeah, and a guy posted on Reddit about feeling like totally burnt out
Mm.
on the whole dating scene and just the way it is now.
Yeah.
And his words really like resonated with a lot of other men
Yeah.
that chimed in and were like, "Yeah, I feel you, dude. I'm right there with you."
Yeah, and it's interesting because it goes beyond just sort of the typical dating woes. Like,
No.
it brings up some really fundamental questions about what people are even looking for in a partner these days.
Yeah.
And whether those expectations are even realistic, you know?
Exactly, and that's what makes this deep dive so interesting, I think.
Right.
So let's unpack what this original poster's main complaint is.
Okay.
He's basically saying that dating feels like it's become totally transactional.
Mm.
Like it's all about what he can provide, his job, his finances, his status.
Right.
And he even said he feels like he's shopping for a sexual partner, not a life partner,
Wow.
because of how women are presenting themselves.
Yeah. I mean,
And that's a really strong statement.
yeah.
And we're going to get into the reactions to it.
Yes.
But I want to just pause for a second and ask you, have you ever felt that way about dating?
I mean, I think everyone who's been on the dating scene for a while has had moments
Yeah.
of feeling like it's just a game,
Yeah.
you know, or that you're not connecting on a deeper level.
Yeah.
And I think especially for men, there can be this pressure to like perform
Yeah.
and to provide in a way that feels kind of,
Superficial.
yeah, a little bit soul crushing sometimes.
Yeah, totally. So what stood out to you in this guy's post?
Well, right off the bat, you can feel that frustration
Oh, yeah.
and that disillusionment in his words. And it's compelling because he's not alone.
Right.
There are a lot of men in the comments that are echoing his sentiments.
Yeah.
You know, they're talking about feeling degraded,
Mhm.
like they're being judged solely on these really superficial qualities.
Like their income
Yeah, exactly. And it's like,
and their car.
right, and where they live, all that surface level stuff.
Okay, so there's this one commenter. He shared this story about a date
Oh, gosh.
who at dinner whipped out her phone
No.
and started Zilloing his house
Oh, my God.
to check its value
No way.
before she even asked him any personal questions.
No.
I am not kidding. It's in the thread. I mean, talk about transactional,
Wow.
right?
That is next level.
So, I mean, do you think these guys are like overreacting?
Oh,
Or is it like something deeper going on?
I mean, on the one hand, I think it's important to acknowledge their frustration,
Yeah.
right? Like these are real feelings that they're expressing.
Yeah.
But I also think it's really important to avoid these sweeping generalizations. Just because some men have had negative experiences
Mm-hmm.
doesn't mean every woman out there is approaching dating this way.
Right. And a lot of the commenters, both men and women,
Yeah.
were kind of pushing back on that.
Right.
They suggested that maybe he's attracting a certain type of woman
Right.
because of his own approach.
Yeah,
Or like the platforms he's using.
exactly. And that brings up a really crucial point.
Yes.
The dating landscape itself has changed dramatically in recent years.
It is.
We can't ignore the influence of social media and dating apps.
Right.
It's created this whole culture of comparison and instant gratification,
Yes.
where it's so easy to get caught up in swiping through profiles
Mm-hmm.
without really taking the time to connect on a deeper level.
It's like a buffet, right? You're just like, I'll have a little bit of this, a little bit of that.
Right, you're overwhelmed with options.
Yeah.
You're not really savoring anything.
You're just grabbing whatever looks good at first glance.
Ex-
You're not taking the time to find something that truly nourishes you.
Yeah.
But hold on now.
Okay.
Some commenters were saying that dating has always been transactional to some extent.
That's true.
So what do you think? Have the rules of the game just changed, or is there something more fundamental shifting?
That is a really fascinating question.
It is.
I think it's both.
Okay.
Dating has always involved this kind of unspoken negotiation,
Yes.
but the terms of that negotiation
Okay.
have definitely evolved.
Okay, so in the past, the transaction was more about a woman providing domesticity and companionship
Right.
in exchange for financial security.
Yeah.
But now women have more independence and agency.
Right.
They're looking for different things.
Exactly.
Shared values, intellectual connection, Emotional intelligence.
Yes, and this is where that whole idea of wife material that the original poster mentioned gets really interesting.
It does.
Is it truly extinct, or has it just evolved along with these societal shifts?
That is the question.
It is.
And we're going to dive into that more in the next segment.
Can't wait.
But first, I want to hear from you.
Yes.
What do you think shapes our expectations in dating? Is it nature? Is it nurture?
Ooh.
Or is it a little bit of both?
That's the question, isn't it?
It is.
It's so interesting how, some of the guys in this thread are like really lamenting the loss of this like very traditional ideal.
Mm-hmm.
But then you have these other commenters like men and women
Yeah.
who are saying wife material might not be about those like old school qualities anymore.
Yeah, it's like this push and pull between these old expectations
Right.
and like adapting to how relationships are evolving.
Absolutely.
Speaking of adapting, one commenter had this really interesting idea.
Oh, yeah.
What if this guy like expanded his dating pool?
Okay.
Like looked beyond his usual type,
Mm-hmm.
maybe even explored different demographics or cultures.
Oh, wow. Stepping outside the box.
Yeah,
Yeah, I like that.
right. That's a good one.
So it's challenging this idea that there's like one perfect type.
And it's encouraging a more open-minded approach
Yeah. I
to
agree.
compatibility.
Right.
But of course, it's not about forcing yourself to be attracted to someone you're not.
Of course not.
Right.
But it's about like being willing to question your assumptions
Yes.
about what a good partnership could look like.
It makes you wonder if we're limiting ourselves sometimes
Totally.
without even realizing it.
Yeah.
But expanding your dating pool also brings up some big questions.
Oh, yeah. Like what?
How do you balance being open-minded
Right.
with staying true to your own values and needs?
It's a tough one for sure.
It's a delicate dance.
Yes.
Right.
It's not about like compromising your core values.
Right.
It's about being willing to see
Yeah.
the vast spectrum of what could work.
Okay, so we can't have this conversation without acknowledging the flip side.
Oh, you mean husband material?
Yes, husband material.
Uh-huh.
All the female commenters were like, hey, what about the guys?
Right, exactly.
They need
Yeah.
to step up too.
It goes both ways.
They're turning the whole concept on its head.
Yeah.
It's not just about women fitting into some mold.
Right.
It's about men having qualities that make them desirable partners too.
Absolutely.
So what are those qualities?
Well, it's not just about being the provider anymore or
Right.
the protector.
Hmm.
It's about emotional intelligence,
Okay.
communication skills,
Mhm.
willingness to share responsibilities, being
Yeah.
supportive and respectful.
It's about recognizing that a healthy relationship is a two-way street.
Yes.
It's built on mutual respect, shared values, and wanting to support each other's growth.
And speaking of growth,
Yeah.
there was a lot of talk about personal development in this thread.
Oh, interesting. Like what?
Commenters were stressing self-awareness,
Okay.
emotional maturity,
Mm-hmm.
understanding your values and goals.
So it's like they're saying you need to be a healthy individual
Yeah.
before you can even think about finding a healthy partner.
Exactly.
One commenter said this guy's frustration might be because of his own issues
Oh, wow.
that are spilling over into his dating life.
That's a tough pill to swallow.
It is, but it's an important point.
It is.
It's so easy to just blame everyone else.
Right. The dating scene,
Yeah.
the opposite sex.
Yeah. But sometimes the real work
Yeah.
is internal.
It is about taking ownership
Yeah.
of your own happiness,
Yes.
not expecting someone else to complete you.
Okay. I'm feeling a little more hopeful about all of this.
Me too.
It's not just about finding the right person.
Right.
It's about becoming the right person.
I love that.
Okay. So let's be real.
Okay.
It's not easy to stay positive when you're facing rejection.
Oh, absolutely not.
Right.
It's tough out there.
How do you navigate that emotional roller coaster
Yeah.
without giving up hope?
That's where resilience comes in.
Okay.
It's about learning from your experiences,
Yeah.
adjusting your approach,
Mm-hmm.
and not giving up.
Okay.
Remember, rejection isn't always personal.
Right.
Sometimes it's just incompatibility. Yeah.
Or bad timing.
So maybe the key is to shift your perspective.
Okay. I like that.
Instead of viewing dating as this hunt for the perfect partner,
Right.
see it as these opportunities to learn and grow
Yeah.
and refine what you're looking for and what you have to offer.
That's a beautiful way to put it.
What's about embracing the unknown
Mm-hmm.
and trusting that the journey has value,
Yeah.
even if it doesn't lead to the destination you thought it would.
I love that.
And maybe have some fun along the way.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Dating shouldn't be a chore.
No.
It should be enjoyable.
It should.
It should be an exploration of human connection.
Exactly.
So what about you guys listening?
Yeah.
Have you ever taken a break from dating
Mm.
to work on yourself.
Yeah.
What strategies have you found for
Yeah.
navigating the modern dating landscape
Yeah. Tell us in the comments.
in a way that feels authentic and fulfilling?
Yes.
So remember, you're not alone in this.
Yeah, absolutely not.
Millions of people are out there,
Looking for love and connection.
each with their own unique story, their
Yeah.
own set of experiences.
There's no right way to do this.
Yep.
It's about finding what works for you
Yes.
and embracing the beauty of it all.
I love that.
So that's going to wrap up part 2.
Okay.
Make sure to join us for part 3,
Yes.
where we'll finally tackle the question,
The big one.
is wife material really extinct?
Ooh.
Or has the
wow.
definition just evolved?
I can't wait.
Okay, so we're back and we've been having an awesome conversation about modern dating. And now it's time to tackle the big question that started this whole deep dive, is wife material like a thing of the past?
It's a question that's on a lot of people's minds, and this Reddit thread is like a battleground of opinions.
Yeah.
Some men are really holding on tight to that traditional idea, you know, domesticity, submissiveness, putting their partner's needs first.
Yeah. But then you have these other people, men and women,
Right?
saying, hold on, wife material hasn't disappeared. It's just different now. It's evolved because women's roles in society have changed.
Yeah.
And they're saying things like independence, intelligence, ambition, emotional maturity are just as important.
Yes. And this is where it gets really interesting.
Yeah.
It makes us look at our own biases,
Mm-hmm.
our expectations.
Yes.
Like, what do we even mean when we say wife material?
Right?
Are we looking for someone who complements us and supports our goals?
Right.
Or are we looking for someone who fits into this like mold
Right.
that's based on societal norms or even our own childhood experiences?
That is deep.
It is.
And there are no easy answers.
Right.
It's a personal journey.
It is.
And it's going to be different for everyone.
Absolutely.
But that's what makes it so fascinating.
Exactly.
There's no one-size-fits-all approach to love and relationships.
Nope. It's all about embracing the messiness,
Yes.
the imperfection, and finding someone who truly gets you.
Yes.
Someone who challenges you to grow
Yes.
and become the best version of yourself.
I like that. And sometimes that means letting go of those old beliefs
Totally.
and being open to new perspectives.
Yes.
So wife material isn't about checking off a list.
Right. It's about finding someone who shares your values,
Yes.
respects your boundaries,
Mm-hmm.
inspires you to live a better life,
Yes.
and makes you laugh.
Oh, yeah. Laughter is key.
It is essential.
So to come full circle, is wife material extinct?
I think it's alive and well,
Right.
but it might look different than what some people expect. It might be more independent, more assertive, more
It's-
complex.
It's out there,
It is.
waiting for those who are willing to be open-minded and open-hearted.
Exactly. And those who are willing to put in the work
Yeah.
to be amazing partners themselves.
Because that's the real key
It is.
to finding lasting love.
Yes.
So listeners, as we wrap up this deep dive, I want you to think about your own definition of wife material or husband material.
Yeah. What qualities are really important to you?
Yeah. And how can you cultivate those qualities within yourself? Yeah.
Love is a journey, not a destination.
It is.
And it's best traveled with an open heart and a curious mind.
Yes.
Be willing to embrace the unknown.
So we hope you enjoyed this deep dive into modern dating
Yeah.
and that it gave you some things to think about as you navigate your own path to love and connection.
Absolutely.
And hey, if you enjoyed this deep dive, make sure to hit that subscribe button and give us a like. We really appreciate your support. You can find us on YouTube at Shauna Pelage, and be sure to check out our other deep dives here on Voices of the Soul. Thanks for listening.